The mother of a Sullivan County toddler at the center of an Amber Alert investigation issued a plea tonight for her daughter to come home.
Tonight, Evelyn Boswell said she wants the person who has her 15-month-old daughter, Evelyn Boswell, to bring her home. Tonight, Megan said her mother agreed to babysit the child around Christmas, but never gave her back, saying that Evelyn was safe and then threatening her if Megan went to police.
You're looking at new photos of Evelyn shared by Megan tonight. She spoke with News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel and made a tearful plea for her child's safe return.
I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota. My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself.
Evelyn Boswell's mom, Megan Boswell, Monday night insisting it was her mother who last was taking care of the child.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with a matching bow and little matching shoes, a little bit before Christmas.
Megan says her mother was babysitting Evelyn while she had to work.
When did you know that something was wrong?
Just when she left and took off and just didn't answer her phone. Or the person that is in Mendota has had her the whole time.
Who that person is, Megan says her mother knows. We took that information to Captain Andy Seabolt with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department. He said during a search of 3 campgrounds in Mendota, Virginia, nothing was located as these locations were checked. At a press conference last week, Sullivan County Sheriff Jeff Cassidy said that Boswell has provided conflicting stories.
I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh, well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
Megan's mother, Angela Boswell, is in the Sullivan County Jail after being arrested in North Carolina Friday, traveling in a stolen car. Megan says the two haven't spoken since last Wednesday, the day the Amber Alert was issued.
But whenever, she picked me up Wednesday, and I told her, hey, they're doing a press release about the Amber Alert thing, and then she freaked out, and that's why they couldn't find her. Nobody talked to her for days until they arrested her.
Megan describes Evelyn as a perfect baby, advanced for her age in terms of development. She sent us these home videos on Monday.
Evelyn.
Hi.
She's very sweet. She loves everybody. She's never been mean ever, which I'm very thankful for. She's just a really good-hearted baby in general.
You believe you know who has her. What do you have to say to them?
Just bring her back. I just want her back. That's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you miss it earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about is how much I just want her back. When she was 6 months old, she actually put a bottle on her own and went straight to a sippy cup. She started walking probably around 10 months. That was kind of hard though, because she's not small as in underfed, you know what I'm saying, but she was a preemie when she was born. She's a smaller baby, and she kind of had trouble balancing her weight, but she finally got the hold of it. She's starting to say a lot of words, and
Tell me what kind of things she likes to do. What kind of, is she into any certain TV shows?
Only Baby Shark. We went to Texas to see her dad, Ethan, and she slept the whole way there. I had to make her wake up to eat and stuff like that, and that's a 24-hour drive there.
So let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota. My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself. Because I've told them, and they're not really taking it seriously, and if they don't go tonight, I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me about the last time, though, that you saw Evelyn. Tell me what you guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with a matching bow and little matching shoes.
And was this December 20, right after Christmas?
A little bit before Christmas. My mom, you can ask her, is a very vindictive, manipulating person, and yes. She basically, threatened me the whole time. But she was gone.
Do you know who has Evelyn right now?
She dropped her off somewhere in Mendota at a silver camper. But my mom would always say the person, not people, plural.
So there is a person that has her in Mendota.
They're not taking me seriously, TBI isn't, because I've not fully told them. I've been hey, my mom camped out at Mendota, you want to go check them out, but I've never been specifically, hey, she's your silver camper, because my mom did threaten me, if I told anybody. I'm not going to get into that, but she did.
So your mom has had Evelyn the whole time? Or the whole time?
Or the person that is in Mendota has had her the whole time.
Tell me why you let your mom take care of her. Did she take her from you that night?
Well, she was just supposed to babysit her. You had to go to work. Because I was going to work.
And then when did you know that something was wrong?
Well, whenever, she picked me up Wednesday, and I told her, hey, they're doing a press release about the Amber Alert thing, and then she freaked out, and that's why they couldn't find her. Nobody talked to her for days until they arrested her. She just kind of poof, gone. But she kept trying to take me to Mendota, and I kept asking. I was like, are you taking me to Evelyn? And she would never tell me yes or no. And I was like, well, if you're not, I'm just calling my police station, come and get me. I'm not playing these games with you.
And so tell me, the day that you dropped her off with your mom to let her babysit, was there anything off about your mom that day? Did you have any suspicion that she was going to take your child?
No. Well, I called her, and she was just like, oh, she's safe, like, you know, that kind of thing. And then she started threatening me, which, like I said, I'm not going to get into, like, everything she threatened me with, you know, because I'm just not, but...
Obviously now that you believe you know who has her, what do you have to say to them?
To just bring her back. I just want her back, that's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about is how much I just want her back.
Talk to me about when you had the indication that she was missing and something was seriously wrong.
Just when she left and took off and just didn't answer her phone.
Talk to me about why your dad made that report.
Because he was talking to my mom the night before, and he was like, oh, well, if she doesn't come home, I'm going to call. And she was going on, well, you're going to regret this. Like, I'm going to have to leave and never be able to come back. You will regret this.
Was there a reason that, you know, that you didn't make the call and it was your dad?
Because Mom kept threatening me if I made the call.
Well, you said that you've had some issues with your mom in the past. Was there a reason you decided to let her babysit her that night? I know that, you know, you said that you had...
Well, she's my mom. I wanted to trust her.
Sheriff Cassidy told the media on Friday, I was there, that you were giving conflicting statements.
Because I wouldn't necessarily... I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh, well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
So now you're coming out and you're saying this is the honest truth, that you know where she is.
I know she has to be in a campground in Mendota with somebody. And Mom told me that they had a silver camper, and that's all she would tell me.
Are you cooperating as much as you can with TBI and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department?
I am. My favorite thing is the first time she kissed me, Lord, I cried for over a week, because she would pull my hair, and I would just let her do it, you know, because I love her. Like, I didn't want to make her cry or be upset in any way, and she would pull chunks of my hair out. And she was in her walker one night, and, like, she dropped her sippy cup, and I bent down to pick it up, and I was like, oh, she's going to pull my hair. She pulled my face close to her, and she kissed my cheek, and I just, like, cried about it for over a week. So I was like, oh, my God, I'm the first person that she's kissed, you know what I'm saying? Just, like, little stuff like that. I love her to death, and I would hate to have missed out on anything, especially because of my mom.
You said you can't take a polygraph?
No, I came here to take a polygraph, and due to policy, they cannot give me one.
Okay. Due to their policy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can't tell me why? Based on their policy, or you just don't feel
Based on their policy.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit of what's going on today? Did you volunteer to come take a polygraph?
Yeah, but they can't do their policy. They can't give me one.
All right. And how are you doing today?
I mean, not good.
Not good. Do you feel like any headway is being made with the search for Evelyn?
I know they're trying their best.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing with, I know last time you told me all about how you're missing her and everything, and
It just gets worse every day.
it does. Do you look at pictures of her on your phone? Do you have pictures of her with you?
Not on me.
Not on you? Okay. How's your, well, you said in your interview yesterday with another station that you do kind of have an idea of where Evelyn is?
They're checking.
They're
checking now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you report that before?
Mm-hmm. They're doing their best.
Okay. And I know all of this must be very hard. Can you tell me a little bit of like what you're going through, what's getting you through this tough time?
Just people who are there for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like Evelyn's okay? Do you think so? Do you have an idea of maybe who she's with? Or?
I wish I did.
Did you give her to your mother? You did. So that's who was watching her? Can you tell me why she was with your mom?
Just she was supposed to babysit her. Didn't turn out that way.
Why'd you come to take a polygraph?
To clear my name, but they won't give me one due to policy. I'm not going to get into all that, but...
And so I know there's a lot of like rumors and stuff going around about all kinds of things. Is there anything else that you'd like to address?
No.
No?
Unless you have anything specific you want me to address.
Well, I know that there's been rumors about like you being pregnant right now, and
I'm not getting into that.
I know, I hate to ask you that, but like I just want to give you the opportunity to like address anything that you feel that the public should or shouldn't know, or I know everybody's in your business.
I am pregnant, that's why they won't give me a polygraph. Due to policy, if you're pregnant, they cannot give you one.
Okay, that makes sense. That must make all of this so much harder for you.
I just want to tell you about like her favorite things and personality wise. I know like looking on TV and just kind of seeing a picture, it's a lot harder to, you know, envision a baby. Like her favorite food is like sweet potatoes. She's really sweet. She loves to give people kisses. Favorite song is Baby Shark. Just like that kind of stuff.
Can you tell me, what's her favorite toy?
She has a little Baby Shark puppet.
What would y'all do together?
Well, she loves to take baths. That was her favorite thing. She had little shark toys that swim in the bath and stuff like that.
How old is she now?
She's 15 months today, actually.
Can you tell me a little bit, like, so you said she's very sweet. Is she sweet with everybody, or just...
She is. She loves everybody.
Can you tell me a little bit about, like, how you're feeling? Do you miss her? Are you worried?
Of course I miss her, and, like, I can't tell you anything about the ongoing investigation, but they are. I'm sure you all have released an article about the car and stuff like that, so they have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're watching, I just want them to bring her back.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if they're watching?
I just want her back. Yeah, that's my child.
I'm sorry. I know this must be hard. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about her? Do you have any pictures of her? Have you been looking?
Not on me, no.
Not on you. Have you been looking at photos and stuff of her while you're? How are you coping with all of this?
I just want her back.
If you could tell her anything now, what would you say to her?
I love her and I miss her. That I'll be with her as soon as I can get to her any way I can.
Is there anything that you can tell us about, like, what kind of baby she is? I know you said that it's hard to see.
She's a happy baby. She hardly ever cries. She wants to wave and talk to everybody. She walks funny. She doesn't know how to pick her feet up, so she kind of wobbles.
Is she talkative?
She is.
What,
she giggles a lot. You'll smile at her, she'll just start giggling. She's very happy.
Mm-hmm. And so you said she is talkative. Is full sentences? Like, what milestones has she met? Like, is she a smart little girl?
She is. She hit every milestone early. She can almost say I love you. She's not fully got to sentences yet, but she does say a lot of words.
You must be so.
Well, the reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her, and I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. Mm-hmm. So I'm just worried about, like where they're at, what they're doing with her at this point in time.
So you do know who has her? You do. Can you tell us who that is, or you don't?
I can't release anything further about that. I'm sure they will at the press conference, but further than that, I can't say anything.
Mm-hmm. And so you do know who has her. Are you worried about her safety?
Well, now I am, because they won't answer phone calls. They've just kind of disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit more about like how you're feeling? I know all of this is scary and everything.
It is. I just want her back.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think about. Is just get her back.
Is there anything the community can do to help you?
No, other than look for her. I know they released the car information and the tag number and stuff like that. Just any leads at all, they need to like call so we can go check them out. Try to find her.
So you said like obviously you can't share anything about the case. So you haven't been sharing with like your family or anything either.
Mm-mm, no.
How's that? Not being able to confide in anyone?
I mean, the police officers are very nice, especially like Sergeant Matt Price and stuff like that. I can talk to him or like them, and they've been like really helpful this whole time. They really have been.
First thing that you do?
Just hug her. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but like I miss how she smells and like her laugh and like everything. I just want to hold her.
But if you could do this all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I probably called the first day. I should have, but I just didn't want them to run with her like they have now.
Did you ever?
Mother of a missing 15-month-old is in custody this morning. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office has charged 18-year-old Evelyn Boswell. Her daughter, Evelyn Boswell, was reportedly last seen nearly 2 months ago.
Heather Wallaga in studio with what we are learning about this arrest on this Wednesday morning. Good morning.
Russell and Abby, good morning. Megan Boswell was arrested last night on one count of false reporting. The TBI says they've received more than 500 tips, but there have been no credible sightings of her daughter, Evelyn. Detectives say Boswell provided a number of conflicting statements. After further investigation, officers discovered some of the information she gave was false. Being held in the Sullivan County Jail on a $25,000 bond. Here's what we know about other people in this investigation. Evelyn's grandmother, pictured here, Angela Boswell, was arrested in North Carolina for stolen property. The car she was driving was listed as stolen. Boswell was arraigned in court in Sullivan County but didn't enter a plea. She is due back in court on March 4th. And Evelyn's father, Ethan Perry, is talking about his missing daughter for the first time, saying he's concerned for her safety and is keeping close tabs on the investigation. He says he wants to keep his privacy as the case progresses. Meantime, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is asking everyone to submit tips to their hotline. If
provided to us were false. Many of the false statements that Megan made delayed our investigations and also impeded our investigations on trying to find Evelyn. As a result, she has been charged with false reporting. Because the investigation remains active and ongoing, we can only release specific answers to this investigation. Of course, everybody knows that a lot of the stuff that we've received, with it being conflicting and inaccurate, and a lot of the information you all are receiving are from the mother, Megan. A lot of the stuff that you're seeing out on social media and a lot of the stuff that has been relayed to you hadn't come from our office. So we want to release the most accurate information to you all, and we want to be promptly in doing so. So a lot of the stuff that you all are getting is from the mother, and you take with it what you want, but she has been inaccurate, conflicting statements all through this investigation.
Breaking news, authorities have found remains believed to belong to missing East Tennessee toddler Evelyn Mae Boswell. News Channel 5's Jason Lamb is at the 5 Alert Center with what we know right now. And Jason, after a 2-week search for Evelyn, this was not the news people were hoping to hear.
Yeah, Emily, there's no other way to put it. This is a heartbreaking update at the end of a heartbreaking week in Tennessee. The remains were found this evening on a property. Evelyn's grandfather reported her missing to the Department of Children's Services. The property is on Muddy Creek Road in Blountville. Deputies from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office were searching the property when the remains were found. Those remains will be sent for an autopsy and a positive identification.
Well, from the hearing this today, certainly the hearing the Boswell family from them after remains were identified as 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says the remains were found Friday on property owned by a family member. Evelyn was last seen in December and reported missing by a family member in February. Marlena Boswell Ellis spoke on behalf of the family on the phone today.
The immediate Boswell family of Evelyn, they're in anguish and grief over the loss. It's been a very rough and trying time for everyone. At this time, they do not want to speak publicly in regards to the tragedy. They are still trying to process what has happened.
Now, no charges have been filed in the child's death. Evelyn's 18-year-old mother remains in custody on false reporting charges.
Baby Evelyn. Her mother's been charged with the murder. She went missing. Mom did not report her missing. Her grandfather had to make that report. She was then found on some family property. And now we're getting more details about the cause of death. And it's gruesome. Let me bring in Joseph Scott Morgan. He's in Jacksonville, Alabama tonight. He's professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, former senior investigator for the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office, and the host of the incredibly popular Body Bags podcast. Joseph, let me put up on the screen. Thanks for joining us again. Baby Evelyn's cause of death. And this is what we learned in court. Cause of death, asphyxia. Manner of death, homicide. Here are the details. Evelyn was found wrapped up in aluminum foil and a blanket inside of a trash bag that had been discarded in a trash can. The chief medical examiner says aluminum foil obstructed her airway and was found inside of Evelyn's mouth. We also know that she was upside down in that trash bag. Here's what Megan Boswell told TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. She allegedly told the agents that Evelyn's death was an accident. She claims that she and her boyfriend rolled over on Evelyn and smothered her while they were all sleeping in the same bed. Your thoughts about the details we're learning here. What does it tell you?
Well, you've got an obstructed airway, which, is facilitated through this aluminum foil. I don't ever recall hearing of a case where aluminum foil was utilized. However, what does happen, and I think that certainly parents who have this terror, I know I had when my kids were little, the kids are going to stick something in their mouth that's going to obstruct their airway. Aluminum foil can be manipulated and rolled up into a tiny ball. If that's what you have at your disposal, you can take this, wrap it up or wad it up and stuff it into the mouth like this, and automatically you're obstructing the airway. There's another troubling piece to this, Ben, and another layer to this from an asphyxial standpoint. Remember what what is being said here is that she was found in this bag, wrapped in a blanket, and she is inverted, upside down. And that can lead to further exacerbate the condition of asphyxia through a condition called positional asphyxia. I've worked cases where kids have fallen in between the wall in a crib before when a crib was not put together properly. And they inverted like that, and they died as a result of positional asphyxia. The trick is this, to try to explain this to a jury, and the pathologist is going to have to stand and deliver relative to this, because there's some subtlety that's involved here. You're going to hear a lot about obstruction of the airway, how this is facilitated, and also, boy, how long this would have taken. Because it's not a quick death. It's not something where, if your mind automatically goes, well, maybe it was a merciful death. Ben, I got to tell you, this would not have been. This would have been absolutely, positively horrific.
Little Evelyn suffered.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, because as your body kind of phases through this oxygen deprivation, which is going on, your brain, even at this age, is screaming out, "I need oxygen." There's panic that's involved with this. You're struggling, just to have your chest rise and fall because it's insufficient oxygenation, and this primal response kicks in where you just want to survive. And she would have felt that.
Today, Megan Boswell faces multiple charges, including felony murder for the death of her toddler, Evelyn Boswell. News 5's Ashley Hoke was in the courtroom for that hearing. So, Ashley, where does this case stand, and what new information were you able to learn today?
Yeah, Rebecca, as you mentioned, Megan Boswell back in a courtroom today here in Sullivan County, and it actually was a very quick hearing. Now, some new information that we did learn today is that Megan did plead not guilty to a new charge of premeditated first-degree murder. But this hearing was actually expected to focus on the defense's request to move the trial out of Sullivan County due to publicity surrounding the case. However, that hearing has now been reset for August. I asked Boswell's attorney, Gene Scott, why he feels a change of venue is needed, and Sullivan County District Attorney Barry Staubis if he believes an impartial jury can still be found locally.
What we've asked is to move it out of Sullivan County. Obviously, I think this case has been picked up in most of the major news markets in Tennessee, but it probably has not been examined as heavily, say, in the national market or the Memphis market as it would be here because it's not local to them.
I've always maintained that we believe that we can pick a jury that can fairly hear the facts of this case and render a decision based on the facts and the law.
That change of venue hearing has now been reset for August 15th.
Evelyn Boswell's law becomes official. The legislation is named after the Sullivan County toddler. The TBI issued the Amber Alert for Evelyn February 19, 2020. Her body was found a few weeks later on family property. News Channel 11's Ashley Sharp explains how Evelyn's death has inspired change.
Josh, when the Amber Alert went out for Evelyn Boswell last year, police learned early on that she had actually not been seen by some family members for around 2 months. Well, thanks to this new legislation, it's now illegal in Tennessee to not report your child who is 12 or younger missing within the first 24 hours. It's something good to come of a tragedy.
She's probably smiling down from heaven right now thinking about it.
Evelyn Boswell's law is now Tennessee law. It requires parents to report their child missing within the first 24 hours or be charged with a Class A misdemeanor.
It just amazed me that we didn't have something on the books already that addressed this.
Representative John Crawford of Kingsport sponsored the House version of the bill. It passed unanimously in the Tennessee House and Senate.
It's a step in the right direction.
The difference this law would have made in the Boswell case, police could have arrested mother Megan Boswell on this charge much earlier for not reporting Evelyn missing within the first day.
That first 24, 48, 72 hours is crucial in the recovery of a child. So, as you know, 2 months goes by. You don't know where they're at, where they've been.
Police would ultimately arrest her on charges of false reporting and later charge her with murder. They say having this law in place sooner could have helped their investigation, but most importantly, hold her and other parents responsible for neglecting their child's safety.
Morning's top stories. Jury selection for Megan Boswell's trial was scheduled to begin this morning, but it's been postponed. The questionnaires for potential jurors were finalized in late November, and now jury selection will take place on February 3rd. Boswell faces several charges in the death of her daughter, Evelyn Boswell, including 2 counts of felony murder, 1 count of first-degree murder, and aggravated child abuse.